So about 24 hours has passed since Jayson Tatum got exactly 0 minutes in the USA victory over Serbia, which of course led all sorts of people to ask the head coach, Steve Kerr, what the hell are you thinking? Which also allowed Steve Kerr the opportunity to get interviewed by Brian Windhorst and basically say, I felt like an idiot for not playing Jayson Tatum, but ultimately still decided to do it anyways, which makes absolutely no sense at all. If you will, today I'm going to go on a rant about Steve Kerr. I live here in the Bay Area. I have seen some strange things with Steve Kerr over the years that I'm sure a lot of people in the national media probably haven't gleamed onto. Now, I'm not saying Steve Kerr is not a good head coach, and I'm certainly not saying that Steve Kerr isn't going to find a way to lead this star-studded USA basketball team on a gold medal run. I think it's all but a certainty at this point that this team will end up winning the gold. But this is sort of typical Steve Kerr moves. I mean, ultimately, his excuse that there were only 40 minutes in the game, and that's just not enough time to get all the star-studded players, the minutes they need. I mean, you could have had LeBron play, I don't know, Steve, maybe instead of 27 minutes, you could have had him play maybe 23 minutes. I'm just saying, there were all sorts of ways to make time, Steve Kerr. If you need help, I could put it in a spreadsheet for you. I mean, for God's sake, Steve Kerr, it is unbelievable. Derek White actually played 16 minutes in that game. Derek White, last time I checked, the best basketball player on that Boston Celtic team that actually just won a title is Jayson Tatum. I know. There'll be some Jaylen Brown, people, fans out there, and I get it. Maybe 1A, 1B is really how you have to deal with those two. But ultimately, Jayson Tatum is a great basketball player. Jayson Tatum is, one of the primary reasons the Boston Celtics now have more championships than the Los Angeles Lakers have. They have 18, the Lakers have 17, and this Jayson Tatum-led Boston Celtic team looks a lot stronger than the current LeBron James Los Angeles Laker-led team. In terms of Steve Kerr's, thought process along all of this, it's just ridiculous. I mean, Derek White once again played 16 minutes, scored like 2 points, had like 2 assists and 1 rebound. I mean, his stat line was nearly a flat line. Look, it just makes no sense. So you might be wondering why. Why would Steve Kerr do this? Well, Steve Kerr, before the start of the game, apparently went up to Jayson Tatum and said, look, you're probably not going to play. And I think what Steve Kerr ultimately ended up doing was just deciding just not to play him at all, even despite the fact that they ended up winning the game, Kerr, by 26 points. This is one of the reasons some of the younger basketball players under Steve Kerr that have recently, in recent minds, the last 3 to 4 years, have been drafted by the Golden State Warriors, haven't always flourished to the level that we thought they would. And one of the reasons for that is Steve Kerr's sort of hard to figure out. So if Jayson Tatum somehow finds himself in, if you will, the Twilight Zone eyes of one Steve Kerr, then things are going to happen to Jayson Tatum that, quite frankly, just aren't going to make any sense to Jayson Tatum. I mean, this isn't, look, Steve Kerr's been a great basketball coach. He's got his methodology. That's really all this is. And his methodology at this point, which makes no sense to me or you, especially on a team that's absolutely going to run away with winning the gold medal, it just makes no sense not to give everybody some minutes every single game. Now, I get Halliburton maybe not playing him every game. He'll be there, but he's not necessarily there today. but everybody else should be playing in every game. What are you going to do? Not play Kevin Durant at all in the next game? Look, we know that's not going to happen. What are you going to do? Not play LeBron James? Like it makes no sense. So all I can possibly come up with is something rubbed Kerr the wrong way with Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum is suffering in the twilight zone that one Jonathan Kuminga has lived in since he was drafted by the Golden State Warriors. All right, that's it for today's underrated. A little bit of a rant on Steve Kerr there. Let me know what you think, North America. Go and drop in your comments for the underrated. I am Dave DeBaugh, wishing you all a tremendous rest of your sports viewing day. To the guitar riffs we go.
You've been listening to the Underrated Podcast with Dave DeBaugh, presented by underrated.media.